basically, they told us we were the best because everybody else could maybe get through one aisle per person, and me and this other dude were fucking booking it. We were doing like 4 or 5 aisles a night, and it was fucking great.
That's interesting.
When I left, they were like, "Is there anything we can do to convince you to stay?" And I'm like, "What? Why would
Yeah.
I stay at Sam's Club? No."
They would have convinced me with more money.
Um,
I loved working
They
at
offered
Walmart.
me.
Walmart was fantastic.
They were like, "Oh."
And I had a
"Is
very
money an
similar
issue? 'Cause
situation,
we can
Tiger.
do something about
But it wasn't
And I was
just me
like,
and one
"Oh."
guy. I was me and like 5 other guys. There was only like
Sam-
3 people that were bad.
It's such an
I-
easy job,
I
but
would-
God, it's fun.
I would say of
How is that a
of all
negative?
the different shifts that are available, I'd say afternoon is the one that sucks the most.
I worked midday, 2 to
Because
11.
like the midday afternoon, like I'd say for me it was always like 2 to 8 kind of thing. 2 to 8, 2 to 9.
Yeah, 3
It
o'clock is
just
the worst.
it just sucks. You walk into hell because you're just finishing the midday rush, and then you're bombarded with everything that morning wasn't able to do, and they're just like, oh, it needs to be done in the next like 15-30 minutes. Good luck.
I feel like that's
Um,
just Target, because we
yeah.
never had that issue at Walmart. If shit wasn't done, it's just like, oh well, third shift will take care of it. Or first shift will take
And
care
we
of it. or
also-
I
second
did
shift
that
will take
too. It's
care of
always the next person's problem.
it. Like, they'll take care of it.
If it was if there was food sometimes, but if there was any, they get
Second
food
shift
for
doesn't
morning
really get
shift,
anything. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
you get to midday afternoon, like there's nothing left,
It's
See,
scratch.
we had that, but
Yeah.
that only affected third shift, so...
and it is all stale.
we didn't have that problem. I don't know how it got stale.
Well, someone opens up the container that's full of food and then leaves it open throughout the day.
Nice.
So you get to it and you're like, woo!
Yeah, Walmart's management was good, at least in mine,
Ra-
because...
Raising Cane's chicken fingers that have been here since 8 a.m.
Management was falling apart when I joined. Like the same
Management-
day
Damn
I
it,
started. The same day I started, new management started. And I saw people progressively leaving the company because of that manager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Managers can really
made-
make or break a company.
I
I
made
would
the
agree with
mistake
that.
of being useful to avoid the company having to deal with lawsuits.
Yeah, pretty much.
What?
We had a really funny situation where essentially there was a gap in policy. There was a gap in like a way to deal with different situations, and that gap revolved around the milk section. For whatever reason, the people who did fulfillment, so taking stuff, making an order, and then like putting it in a
Oh,
fridge so
no.
a customer can come and just pick it up,
Yeah, I remember that.
had no idea any policy about FIFO, and so they would take whatever's in front and then move things around so they could get to stuff, and you'd find a crate of milk that has been expired for 4 months.
Interesting.
I started to like take those out and start dumping them down the drain because that's the policy for expired milk.
Do you have
But
to take
there wasn't a
pictures of it?
policy to take care of it.
No
so
one was taught to.
There was no time assigned to it, was the main thing.
Mm.
No one was doing it. And so this expired milk was building up, and I was like glancing through things, putting X's on lids, making sure that stuff was done. And then I had to go away for a few days. Like I had told my manager about, hey, I am doing this, like I'm spending 15 to 30 minutes every single day going through and making sure that we don't have expired milk that fulfillment can grab for their orders. So they're like, oh, you shouldn't be spending the time on it. If anything, spend 15 minutes and that's all you get. And I'm like, okay. So I time myself 15 minutes.
That's insane.
trying to make sure that whatever expired milk I couldn't get to was like deep in the corner, hard for people to get to,
I must have worked at the
because
perfect Walmart.
because
dude.
I knew that fulfillment was just brain dead.
Azumgi,
They'd see an X on the bottle and go, "Oh, good enough."
Azumgi, first off, you're a really good worker. Secondly, you're also kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd
Yeah.
help them that much,
I'm
but like,
surprised that you waited 15 minutes and didn't just go, I don't know, I've been here a little bit. I guess I'm tired of doing this. Also,
I-
shouldn't it be fulfillment's responsibility to not get
Yes.
expired milk
No, no.
and also throw it
Uh,
out maybe?
Everything consumables fell under my purview, especially once the freezer guy quit and the other consumable guy in the afternoon quit, and then freezer guy for morning quit, and so it was me and consumable in the morning for the entire consumable section, which included cold stuff, frozen stuff, and dry stuff. Every single aisle that had to do with food, I was in charge of for 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
it's
I
crazy.
can't even begin to describe how much hell that was.
Dude,
Um,
I have the exact opposite experience working at Walmart. I tell my
And
bosses,
so
hey,
I-
there's this big issue, and they're like, all right, go ahead and solve that for us, please.
Yeah. And so I literally, like,
didn't
I
know
would
that
tell
part.
them about situations that were going on, and they're like, well, you have to pick what's the biggest precedent. And I'm like, okay,
The rotten food.
I know that this is the biggest issue. I'm going to deal with this. And then they'd be yelling at me a few hours later, why wasn't this, this, and this done? Well, you told me to take care of this. Well, I also told you if you had time to take care of that. Well, here's the thing. I didn't have time to take care of that. Well, it needs to be done within the next hour, or you're staying extra to make sure it's done.
That wouldn't work.
Yeah, I was.
Yeah, you could just
was
be like,
tortured
yeah,
at
I'm
that
not
job.
doing that.
yeah,
and
that's what I
yeah.
did. Yeah, you guys need to
Um,
stay till an extra hour or two to finish it.
And so,
No.
and
bye.
so I literally got to the point where I was like, I had a 15-minute, 30-minute, an hour timer on my phone. So they go, you spend an hour doing this, and whether it was done or not, I spent 1 hour. I was almost to the point of malicious compliance, if I'm being honest.
That's fine.
They
They're
deserved it.
assholes.
Dude, sounds like Target sucks over there.
So the milk situation, I wanted to finish this. I wasn't able to come into work for a week. I had gotten like really bad flu.
Mhm.
And during that week, get this, fulfillment managed to grab one of the expired milks that had been expired for literally 8 months.
Holy shit.
I was getting to it.
So
trust
it was
me.
cheese. It was cheese.
It was cheese. It was skim milk too. So it was like a watery on the top and then
Like
Oh.
like buttermilk on the bottom essentially. Like it was nasty coming out
Buttermilk.
of the milk jug, splashing up the sides of the sink and getting some on your hands and wishing you weren't alive.
Nice car.
That's pretty cool. Thanks, bro.
So
Too bad it's not a Tiger.
so this week that I'm gone, fulfillment grabs one of the ultra expired milks and does a fulfillment order for the general manager of Cucumino County.
Oh.
And
So
that
what
general manager exploded. Like the entire
Oh.
store policy
Damn.
had
That's
to be
it.
revamped.
To
Like
restaff and everything. Shit.
Insane.
it was, and essentially management had it slip. They were like, "Oh yeah," and Will's in charge of the milk, and I'm like, "No, you didn't just try to throw me under the bus." So I explained the situation, and I'm like, "Well, as far as I saw it, I was making sure to take care of this because we don't have policy in place." She's like, "What do you mean we don't have policy in place? people are meant to make sure we don't have expired products able to be grabbed by fulfillment. And fulfillment should know not to grab expired products.
Exactly.
They should look at expiration
Over the
dates.
top.
What the hell is going
Over the
on in this
top.
building? And I'm like, okay, please don't yell at me. I'm literally like putting a band-aid on the issue
Over the top.
regardless of what the managers say.
Yeah, it's
So-
all management, dude.
Yeah. And so she was like, okay, I'm sure you did your best. I'm going to go have a talk with your manager. And my manager goes, all right, so moving forward. On top of the 12 hours of work that you have to do in 8 hours, you now are required to spend 2 hours on the milk every single day. And I'm like,
You shouldn't have to take 2 hours on the milk.
Great.
There shouldn't be that much bad milk.
First
A lot of milk,
of all,
Er.
morning shift? Nothing? Just me.
Yeah, it's all you, dude.
So, towards the end of my stay, I essentially had, and I told them about this multiple times. I'm like, you need to understand, your list of things that I need to get done in a day, and your calculations for how long it takes, your specified calculations, which are usually lower than what it actually takes to do it. They're like, oh, it only takes 30 minutes to get through a pallet of 150 boxes of items. It shouldn't have to go in the fridge for 30 minutes and then back out on the floor a second time. That should never happen. Well, don't give me a pallet of 150 items. Anyway,
True.
their specified list, I calculated all the numbers because the bottom of the list always says 8 hours no matter what.
Uh-huh.
I calculated it. It was literally 22 hours worth of stuff at the end of my stay. 22 hours of worth of stuff that had to be done in 8 hours. And
That didn't hit us.
And sometimes they would tell me like which tasks were the most important, but other times they were like, "Yeah, it's up to you. Like you need to know by now. You've worked here for a year. You need to know what we want done first." I'm like, that literally changes every single day of what you want done. You just hand me a task list and then get angry when I only finish a few items.
So here's the right way to do that. You could have your employee do it once and like keep track of how long it takes them. Be like, all right, this is how much time that takes this guy. Let's try it with someone else.
But
That's
then
exactly how
that's
not
Walmart
even-
works. That's
that
exactly
wasn't
how
even
Walmart
the
works.
issue. With their numbers, it came out to 22 hours.
Yeah.
Which is less than average.
You've given me a task list that is literally impossible to do for within a day. Like 24 hours and I couldn't get that much stuff done.
In all honesty, management is really fucking easy. The hardest part
Yeah,
is the
because you
paperwork.
just have to say what people need to do, and you don't have to care whether or not they can actually do it.
Well, even still, I mean, as a construction manager, the hardest part of my day was managing my own time. Because my own time is way more important than my own guy's time, or than my guy's time, because they all are on a fixed schedule. I
Yeah.
know how much time it takes them to do shit. I just manage that, and I go, okay, well, it's going to take you 3 days to finish this. I'm going to tell the fucking painter to be ready in 3 days. Okay?
I
And then the
should
day before, I'm like, are we good to go tomorrow? No? Okay, I'll call the painter right now.
I should also probably mention for the consumables section, there was more managers than workers. There was 2 consumable people, and there were 3 managers.
Damn, dude, they had a lot of managers to do.
And those 3 managers
Yeah.
wouldn't leave the office. They'd leave the office at the start of the day to go,
Yeah.
this is what you need to do. Here's your task list. And then they'd show up at the end of the day to chastise you for not having completed everything on the task list.
I am a
That's
firm
crazy.
believer in generals that fight with their army. I think
Yep.
that's the fucking coolest shit in the world.
It is.
Having
It is a huge
managers that
sense
just
of.
go, I get paid enough to sit around
Yeah.
all day. That's
It is.
fucked up.
It is a huge sense of relief on the one day of the month that the general manager shows up in the afternoon, and all 3 of those managers are on the floor helping, and it's like, oh my goodness, we've actually managed to finish the task list.
Dude, yeah. Someone's shooting at me, bro.
It's.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's
I think
that
he's over
way.
here.
You
it
guys
might
want to
be there.
hear? You guys want to hear some other insane
Yeah, they're in the windows.
allotted time amounts for things that I had to do?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The entirety of the fridge and freezer needed to be swept and mopped. I have no idea why in their minds they thought mopping the freezer is a good idea, but they had that happening every single day at the end of the night. And so you guys,
Only the 4X.
you know, I
I have 6.
could
Don't
give
mind?
you 3
Nah, I'll be
guesses
fine.
on what happened over the time I was there, but you could get it in one. What happened in the freezers?
Yeah.
Slipping, falling hazards.
Layer
all
of
that.
Anal
ice
sex.
formed.
Oh, sorry.
Layer of ice formed over the entire floor, and it was impossible to stand even with non-slip shoes because it was just solid ice.
What?
Um,
No.
and so
What?
people took a lot longer in the freezers, and then they got angry at people for taking longer in the freezers,
At that
and we
point, I would
complained
stop
that it's a
taking
safety issue.
Yeah.
Someone
do it
reported
really
it, and that was
fast.
the
Yeah.
only point that it got fixed. Oh
Dude,
yeah.
That's great.
So we at Night Spot Grill, one of the places I worked at, we also mopped the
Oh,
freezers,
Too close.
but
Yeah.
we also dried the freezers. Like we
True.
made sure the floors were dry.
Mop it with like essentially, what is it?
Oh.
Dry freeze or something?
No, we it was water. Soap
It was
and
water. Okay.
And then we just made sure the floors were dried, and then like there was no standing water, not even like a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. In
We
order
were very
to
careful on how we did it.
so
to avoid
sweeping and mopping both the fridge and freezer. You have 5 minutes to do it. By the way, when you mop the fridge, you are meant to let it stand for 10 minutes before sweeping. I don't know why they had it mop
In
and
the
then
car and
sweep.
leaving.
I don't know what's wrong with them.
Right.
Policy was all over the place.
Left of blue.
Oh, they're going to our
It
left.
depends.
Okay.
I
going up
can
the hill, let's
I
go up the
can
hill first.
understand.
I agree.
For example, in the freezer, a lot of shit gets frozen to the ground. So if you're mopping with warm water and all that,
Our
you
boyfriend
can
might
get
be
a lot of
chasing
the
them.
Particles
Yeah.
unfrozen, which is might be their reason for mopping and sweeping, just to get everything unstuck on the floor.
I don't
And then,
think that makes any sense.
I think a little bit of context as well is I was a part-time worker. I wasn't there every single afternoon. I was
Big
there
girl.
4
Danger?
out of the 7 days.
They think
Um,
it should be right here. Where are they?
And,
Unless they're actually being chased right now.
and with that,
No,
Yeah,
one of
right
them's still at the building.
so you're meant to sweep and mop the fridge and freezer every single day.
Or in the forest.
I can guarantee it was only
God,
cleaned
right there.
when I was there.
Yeah, I see the car.
I can guarantee it because you can pretty much eyeball
Danger zone.
how much
agree.
crime has built up, considering the days that
One's still in the building.
So,
Two buildings.
And
Let's
it's
just
like,
get out here. Go,
and
go.
it's like I'm gone for 2-3 days. I come back, and they're like, "The fridge is horrible. You need to clean it right now." I'm like, why are you blaming me? It's been 3 days.
Up the stairs.
You complimented me on it when I finished
Still
it
there.
3 days ago. You have to understand.
Oh, fuck off, man.
There are other people that exist, right? Like, there are other people. I am not the only person that exists. My problem was I was just too useful.
See that?
No,
Blasted him. They blasted their friend. Our boyfriends
Nice.
are gonna die though.
Dude, that
Because-
fucking pisses me off. It didn't aim where my reticle was. It aimed like left of the guy, like a foot and a half.
Throwing
Yeah,
a random
'cause
grenade.
I
was trying to kill
hear it
the
constantly.
guy with the
after
FAMAS,
I
didn't think about the guy
after I
upstairs.
used to work there.
I didn't know that.
It's like, oh, don't make yourself too useful. Otherwise, you're just going to get more work and be paid the same.
This guy's dead. He might be okay.
What?
Why
He
can't
shot
I
the
get that
shit
lucky?
He shot the shit out of the dude's penis, and nothing happened.
You know what, Brock? This is bunk, dude.
Did you watch Yellow?
No, I'm watching the other one.
The dude literally center mass the guy's dick, blasted him with a whole magazine, and didn't kill him.
He just has a really good gaming chair.
Our team is really bad.
I agree.
Fucking lucky.
And lucky too, yeah. Shot in the back and missing everything at close range.
Supposedly, Morning complained constantly that
Fucking hell, I don't-
all the shelves and whatnot were not stocked and perfectly nice at the end of the night. Because you have the 5 minutes before move out, you have the 5 minutes after close. So they close the store. You have 5 minutes to collect everything in your section that doesn't belong in your section. Organize all of the shelves of everything to look nice. All the stuff brought to the front and whatnot. All the floors swept and mopped. And finish your last
He just
few.
missed him
Oh,
go
I
from one
forget.
building to
I
the
forget
other.
what they call it, but it's essentially like a. We have an automated system that checks how many things are sold, and it tells you how much of things need to be restocked. So that has to be at 0 at the end of the day, every single day.
What?
Mhm.
We didn't have that at Walmart. We had the system, but not the, oh, it needs to be 0.
Yeah. Originally, it was it can't be over 20%, and then management got angry, and they set it down to 5%, and then they set it down to 0. And I just laughed every single time. They're like, "Oh, you need to make sure that this is at 0 at the end of the day." I'm like, "Okay, so I'm not gonna sweep and mop my area." They're like, "No, you're still gonna do that." Okay, so then I'm not gonna go and organize the shelves. No, you're still doing that.
That's when you just put it back to them and
that
say,
it's
no,
not.
you have to make sure.
You realize that it's not humanly possible to make sure all 3 of those are done within 5 minutes.
Paid by the hour. You're paid by the whatever. Bitch.
And originally there was a policy in place where when you collected all the stuff that wasn't from your section, we used shopping carts for it. You collect all the stuff that's not in your section, you bring it to the front of the store, and then you go through and organize them into this is my section, this is your section kind of thing, and then put them back on the shelves. The moment that I started working there, one of the employees was like, "Yeah, this is policy. We haven't done that in months because we just put things in these carts and then leave the carts at the front.
He doesn't know.
And Morning is
Yeah.
going to deal with it because we
I would
aren't
just
going to
sit for
stay
him.
here
He
an
probably
extra
can't
2
even hear it.
hours to make sure everything's
You
put
can
away."
hear it.
What's those beeping? What is that?
I don't know if he knows what it is. though.
No.
Oh, he knows. He knows.
He's gonna get gunned down.
I'm waiting for his luck to pay off.
His luck paid off once, dude. This is
Oh, dude, it
insane.
did.
What is this? Why can't we get this? We get obliterated.
The C4 killed the fucking teammate. but
Yeah, he's
not
gonna
this
go back
guy.
and pick him up. He has time for it. Oh my
No.
god.
Oh,
God, get him! Get him! What? There's
Dude.
one more! Dude!
That's the most excited I've ever heard him.
This is
dude.
insane, Dark. We're watching a bot win.
It's not really a bot, but he's acting like it.
Yeah, he's gonna win on luck alone. Even
Well, he has to
Stazzy Boy
kill
doesn't
2
have
dudes,
this.
maybe.
Then again, Stazzy Boy lays
He
down.
hears him. Oh,
He's behind him.
oh, does he know? He can see him through the window, probably.
Yeah, the other one knows
Here
he's
he comes.
there. Yeah,
Here
here
he
it comes. It's what's over.
Huh?
What?
What the fuck?
No, get the other one, get it! Oh! Oh no, switch!
No.
Come on!
Oh my god.
This is
dude.
insane, dude! Oh my god!
Fuck.
What is this?
Fuck.
This is the most fun I've had
dude.
playing PUBG my entire time playing this game.
Oh
Oh my
You guys
god.
are having fun.
Fuck.
Who is this guy? This guy's a pro.
What in the fuck happened there?
Dude.
They killed our whole team, but couldn't kill the fucking
Oh.
retard. that-
Well, to be
I
fair, the final guy that was standing and shooting was also a gray shirt.
You guys got any
Dude.
horror stories from your retail experiences?
Nope.
I have one funny story.
I have
and that
one
is,
quote-unquote
there
horror
was-
story.
there was a lady that came into